Hi guys, I'm Steve Montgomery and we have Steve Lago, and this is part 2 of our conversation of our top 20 70s TV shows. So stay with us as we continue our conversation.
Wow. So the next one on the list is Three's Company.
My favorite. That's probably my favorite.
Come and knock on our door.
My all-time favorites for sure.
Yeah, they went from 77 to 84. Yeah, Joyce DeWitt, Suzanne Summers, John Ritter. Of course, it also had Don Knotts on there later on as Mr. Furley.
Yes.
Of course, there was a spinoff of this show, too, called The Ropers, which didn't last very long with Mr. Roper and his wife. But, yeah, it was funny. I mean, it was just like John Ritter was he was the physical comedy slapstick guy. You know what I mean? Always hurting himself, falling over chairs, whatever. I mean, yeah, John Ritter was hilarious.
Oh, God. So funny.
Of course, back then, Suzanne Summers was the big deal. I never really got the attraction. Honestly, I don't find her appealing at all. And of course, she wanted more money because she got big star. So that's when they put the kibosh on her and they brought in, what was her name?
Priscilla or something, or wasn't her name?
Cindy. Well, her name was Cindy, right?
Yeah, but
yeah, I don't remember
I can't remember
what her real name was. I thought later on
Priscilla Barnes. Oh no! Wait. There
was three people.
Terry. Yeah.
There was Terry, and then there was Cindy.
Okay.
There was
Jenna
three.
Lee Harrison was the first cousin to. Cindy Snow. That was Chrissy's first cousin. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So there was three blondes on the show at some point in time. Yeah, but I always thought that later on, not early on, but later on, I thought Joyce DeWitt was way better than the blondes. Honestly,
did you? I don't know. I didn't like her short hair, really.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, though, I mean, she was kind of.
They were funny. I mean, that show was unbelievably ahead of its time. Or it was so risque, I should say.
Well, yeah, especially because when he was pretending that he was gay, right?
Yeah, the show would never make it today.
Yeah,
it's just such classic comedy.
I mean, the way Mr. Roper would always
roll his eyes and
do his thing with the hand. Yeah.
Yeah, that show was it's just a great show. And John Ritter, he was kind of like I don't know, he was probably one of the best, what do you call like physical comedy guys. I mean, he was just incredible, like way he would take falls and different things. I mean, just amazing. And we should bring up the fact that John Ritter died.
It's been a while.
Yes, 2003, and he was only. And check this out, dude. He was only 54. Now, back then, that seemed old, but we're almost as old as he is. Almost, just a few years off. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah, he died of like an infection in the hospital or something.
Yeah, it was something weird. I don't know.
Yeah, he went to the hospital. And then he got like a bed sore or something, and then he got infected, and then he went toxic, and it killed him or something, if I remember correctly.
Just nuts, man.
Yeah, freak thing, you know.
Yeah, it's sad.
It is. Yeah, but unfortunately, a lot of these 70s stars in these shows are very, very old right now, or have passed away.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like. How old is Henry Winkler? He's got to be in like late 70s. Ron Howard, all those. Suzanne Summers still, I mean, she's still looking.
Oh, she ages really good. I mean, she looked better with age, but she's into a lot of natural products and
she says the secret to staying healthy and young is that she has sex 3 times a day.
Yeah, I don't know how that's possible, but good for her, I guess.
Yeah. She's probably wearing that dog out.
Yeah, he's gonna definitely croak before her.
Yeah, but that's no. I saw a show or reading something, and she says that, you know, she has sex 3 days a week, and that's what keeps everything operating properly.
Oh, 3 days a week?
No, three times. No, 3 times a day.
Oh, okay. Gosh, that's so unrealistic. But
3 days a week. Hell, I don't even do that.
God. Yeah, so good for her, man.
Yeah.
So let's see.
So I got 2 more here.
2 more. Okay.
So the next show on the list, and I will have to say that after careful consideration, this is my favorite show, probably of all time.
Oh, I want to hear it.
And it's MASH.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
1972, 1983.
You are a war hero.
Yeah, MASH is just an incredible show. I mean, I can watch MASH anytime, and I don't care if I've seen the episode 150 times. I can watch it over and over and over again.
Wow,
it's just a great show. It won 14 Emmy Awards.
What? It did?
It was on for 11 seasons, which was actually longer than the actual Korean War.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it was based on the 1970s motion picture MASH with Donald Sutherland and can't think of the other guy's name, but yeah, I mean, it started out as just almost like a black type of a comedy, but the later seasons, man, I don't know if you've ever watched the whole. Have you ever watched the whole series?
No, I couldn't get into MASH.
With you, well, I think maybe as you've matured, I'm telling you, I like it from beginning to end. But like the first few seasons were a lot of like dark comedy and slapstick. But as it got to the later seasons, probably maybe season 7, 6 through 11, like the second half.
Yeah,
it was kind of like a comedy drama, and there's like some really deep. There's some really like deep episodes in there, man. It's a really good show. I mean, it's like, a lot of people, like my wife, as soon as she hears the music, she's like, I'm gonna go in the bedroom.
Yeah, I know. That's how I was.
But and as a real little kid, I remember it being on, and I didn't really like it. As a little kid,
yeah.
But as to like the later 70s, because we watched, back then we watched TV together, right? So whatever. Right. I mean, if you were going to watch TV, you were going to watch what your parents were watching, and we all sat there on the couch in the living room. So eventually, watching it in the 70s, I really started enjoying it, and of course, the finale. The final episode, that was like the most watched show in television history.
Wow.
And it might still be to this day. And you want to talk about a tear jerker? That is a tear jerker.
I heard it was.
But in order to appreciate it, you need to watch the whole series, and then it culminates with that movie. It's incredible. It's an incredible show. Well, Alan Alda is just an amazing actor, and he did a lot of the writing on that show too, later on. But
I always liked him, but there was something. Okay, when I was a kid, I didn't like 2 things: war movies and war TV shows, whatever. War, and I didn't like westerns. Now I like war movies and I like westerns. As I got older,
yeah.
But back then, oh man! As soon as I saw that helicopter, I'm changing the channel if I could, or I'd go in the other room.
All right, it's definitely a show you should watch. I'm telling you, you're going to watch it and you're going to love it. But I would say probably the first couple, maybe the first 3-4 episodes, you probably won't like. At least the first 1 or 2. Yeah. But I mean, once it hits the stride, like it's season 2. Mm-hmm. But I would highly recommend it if you can get past the first 4 or 5 episodes, which they're not bad by any means.
Yeah.
but they don't really have people established, who they are and how they act. It was kind of like they were kind of still building the people, you know what I mean, and who they were going to be. But it's just, it's for sure. It's
that says a lot. So I'll give it a whirl. I'll find it and check it out for sure.
Yeah, it's for sure.
2023. I'm gonna go watch MASH.
Yeah.
see what I missed.
There's, I'm telling you, man. There's just an array of episodes, like hilarious episodes that like make you feel like make you feel good, and then there's episodes that you literally you're gonna cry.
Well, I remember seeing scenes because I thought it was a war comedy TV show, but I remember seeing some tears flowing in the show or some scenes. I'm thinking, why is it so serious now? That's all I remember. It was like there was some comedy and then there was like some like really sad parts, but I never watched the show. I was just kind of thrown like, what is this show? Is it comedy or is it serious? But I remember all the talk about the finale and the tearjerker, being a tearjerker. I'm like, and I didn't get it. I thought it was like some goofy, war show that was kind of funny. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely something you should check out. You definitely should give it a chance. But
cool, man. I will.
Yeah.
As a veteran yourself, I'll take your opinions to heart and check it out.
And then number 10. And I used to watch this, on, I think it was on Sundays, Sunday evenings early, and it was The Muppet Show. I loved it. I loved The Muppet Show, and, of course, you love the Muppets, right? And the slapstick stuff they would do, but they'd always have, back then, man, so many, they had a guest star every week. I remember Christopher Reeve, Johnny Cash, Steve Martin. There was so many. Mark Hamill from Star Wars. There was like, you name it, they got them on the Muppet Show, and they would do some kind of performance, and it was just a fun show as a kid. I couldn't wait to watch the Muppet Show, and even though it went from like 76 to 81. So I was like 10 at the oldest when it went off the air, but I loved it. I couldn't wait to watch it every Sunday.
Yeah, that didn't even make my list. I don't remember really liking the Muppet Show too much. So I remember seeing the movie. When the movie come out, I don't even remember. But
it's not. And I'm not adding it to the list, but Sunday night was a big deal because I think the Muppets will be on earlier, and I don't know if you remember, but The Wonderful World of Disney. Remember that would be on Sunday nights?
I did remember that.
There would be like a movie or Davy Crockett or, it would be something Disney. And that was always like a big thrill,
Right. For sure.
But so that's it. That's 10 for me there.
All right. Well, 6 on my list was The Incredible Hulk, so I don't have to talk about that. Happy Days was next, so I don't have to talk about that. 8, I'm going to go ahead and talk about this because I did love the show. Probably because I think it was Saturday nights it came on, and I would be at my grandma's, but we watch 7 to 10, the standard programming from 7 to 10, and this came on at 8, I remember, and it was The Love Boat.
Love, exciting.
I used to love The Love Boat because they had so many different stars, kind of like you're saying with the Muppet Show and stuff. They would always, even though it was about love and all this stuff. I really liked the show, and they had so many guest appearances. And that aired from 1977 to 86, so it's hard for me to really figure out if it was a top 70s or a top 80s. But I remember
It was definitely way better. I used to watch that show too. It wasn't one of my top 20, but I used to watch it every week with my parents, and I remember it being a lot better in the 70s than when I got to the 80s.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I loved the theme song.
Yeah.
I loved it.
The love
I love it.
yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Come aboard.
Yeah, it's something you can't forget. I mean, that is a theme song you can't
It's
forget.
classic, dude. I love it.
It is. Oh, man. Okay, so the next one on my list was the Partridge Family.
Now and me, everybody, and hear us sing.
I did watch a lot of the Partridge Family. I don't know. I don't remember if it was... I don't remember when it aired. I just remember watching a lot of it.
I think that was on like from 74 to like 77, maybe. Yeah, I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I forgot to write that down, but I don't remember.
I never watched it as a kid. I watched it later on. Probably in reruns in the 80s or something. But I liked it. Okay, it was just something different.
Yeah. So yeah, Partridge Family.
He just passed away, a few years back too, didn't he? David, what was his name?
Yeah. Crosby? Or David, no, wait.
David Cassidy.
Cassidy, not Crosby.
Yeah, I think he had like a long battle with alcoholism. I think that's what happened with him.
And he was a heartthrob back in the
big
day.
time. Him and the chick, was her name Susan Day?
Yes, yeah.
And of course you had Bonaducci. He was always he was in those magazines too, but he wasn't the heartthrob. He was the freckle-faced goofball kid.
He kind of ripped out later in life. I mean, he got kind of big, didn't he?
Well, he took roids. He admitted it.
Oh, that's right.
But what was who was the mother? Who was that actress?
Shirley Jones, maybe.
Shirley Jones. Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it.
It was definitely a product of its time.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, this one I don't know if it's on your list, but I loved the movie, and I remember watching the TV show. It didn't last long. Maybe 1 or 2 seasons, I'm not sure. But it was Logan's Run.
It went one season.
One season? Yeah, okay. So just something about that, the whole movie and then the TV show, I really loved the whole futuristic, kind of dystopian future. It just always freaked me out as a kid.
I bought the pilot off of Amazon like last year. To rewatch it because I ended up watching the movie because I couldn't even remember what it was really all about.
Yeah,
but I remember as a kid the TV series, and I remember liking the TV series. Didn't remember too much about it, but watched the movie. Then I bought the pilot on Prime of the TV show, and it's got what's his name, Gregory.
The dark hair guy. Whatever.
Gregory Harrison, is that his name? Yeah. That was in Trapper John MD. Also. Yeah. And it was pretty good. I might actually buy the rest of the series or whatever because I haven't been able to find any place that just streams it.
What's up, America? Are you tired of your hard-earned money going to woke agendas from woke corporations? If you want to give your money to patriotic companies that love America, well, I have a website for you, MammothNation.com. MammothNation.com. And if you use our special coupon code, RETROMEDIA, you will get 30% off your subscription. These are American-made businesses that won't give your money to hidden agendas. It's time to take back America and put your money where it counts. Go to MammothNation.com and use our special coupon code RETROMEDIA at checkout to get 30% off. Go to MammothNation.com. How many many was that? Oh, wait. Did I go too much? Because I said 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that was my last one because I don't need to talk about the other ones now. So you can go now.
Thanks, pal.
You're welcome.
So next one on my list is the Brady Bunch. We're talking about the Partridge Family.
It's on my list too.
It all became the Brady Bunch, the Brady Bunch.
And they went 69 to 74. And who didn't love the Brady Bunch? I mean, it was this like an unbelievable story of a family, right? I mean, it was like, not that there was two people that had 3 kids got married, but it's just like the weird world that was presented. The backyard with no grass. It was like carpeting.
Yeah.
And just the inside of the house just looked just like the whole world was kind of strange.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It was fun. It was a fun show. It was a Sherwood Schwartz show. He made Gilligan's Island and a bunch of other different shows in the 60s and 70s, and I mean, it was a fun show. I mean,
it was a great show. Great show.
Everybody loved it. And it's one of those shows too that I can flip through the channels, and if I see an episode of the Brady Bunch, I'll stop and watch it. And you know what? I enjoy it. You know what I mean? It was a fun show, especially for kids back then.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, for sure. They always had a little moral lesson to be learned.
Yeah.
I remember coming home from school and watching that show every day.
Yep, me too.
I think Leave It to Beaver, one of them came on, like, I don't know if it was before it or I don't know. I just remember there was this line of shows I used to watch when I came home from school, and Brady
me
Bunch
too.
was just always the show,
It was Leave It to Beaver and Brady Bunch. It was like Scooby-Doo. It was
yeah,
all those old shows. But you know what? It was like those good, clean, wholesome shows, but they were entertaining. And I mean, as a kid, I loved them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, they were so good.
The next one, short-lived, I might say, show, was The Amazing Spider-Man, or live action.
Yes, I was going to put that on my list because I remember watching that a lot.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it as a
great
kid.
Show.
You go back and watch it now. All the episodes are on YouTube for free.
Are they?
Matter of fact, there's this one guy that I can't think of his account now on YouTube, but he has cleaned them all up and redone some of the stuff on pre-packaged the movie and cleaned them all up and made them look better. And it's really cool. You should check them out.
No kidding. Wow. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Do a little search on YouTube and see him. But yeah, it was pretty cool. It was for what it was. Stan Lee hates it, or he hated it. He said he didn't like.
Really?
He didn't like it, but just because they just didn't have the technology to make it even close to the comic books, But as a kid, I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And then the next show, which is kind of in the same vein, it was a Saturday morning show. I
know what you're going to say.
And it was Shazam, 1974 to 77.
No, I don't know. Shazam, I forgot about that one totally.
Yeah,
totally forgot about it.
It was made by Filmation. The same. I think they made The Secret of Isis, the Jason and Star Command. They had a couple. I think Ark. There was a show called Ark. A bunch of cool shows made by this company called Filmation back in the 70s. I think early 80s, and same thing. It was Billy Batson was driving around with. They just called him Mentor. It was this old guy, and they drove around in an RV in California. And, of course, they would stop at a town, and there'd always be some kind of problem that they needed to help with, And, at some point late in the episode, Shazam would be needed to save the day. And then, of course, at the very end of the episode, they did have like a little moral thing where Shazam would come down there, and he would talk about the episode and the lesson that was learned from it. And, it's just a cool show. They actually just they put him out on DVD and Blu-ray a few years ago. They totally cleaned them all up, and they put most of the morals back in at the end of the show that they had lost for years. But it's cool. It's a cool throwback show for sure. It's pretty cool.
Cool.
For what kind of budget they had, they did a pretty good job. Next show on the list is Different Strokes.
Different strokes for days, different strokes to move the world.
Did it come out in the 70s?
78 to 85.
Oh, it was 78. Okay, because I was going to put that in my 80s list. But yeah, okay, great show.
Yeah, for sure. You know, obviously, if nobody's seen it, it's about these two kids, I think, from Harlem that get adopted by this rich businessman.
What you talking about, Willis?
Because I think their mother had been his housekeeper or something, and he made a promise to like take care of her kids. So it was basically, it was a kid's version of the Jeffersons. Man, they were moving on up right into from being poor and broke to living in a rich family house.
What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, that was. I mean, Gary Coleman back when the show came out was like one of the biggest stars on the planet.
Yeah,
right.
He
was huge star. I remember he even did a few movies. I think it was the Heavenly Kid or something. Or I mean, yeah, he was a big star. Big star.
Probably not Heavenly Kid, because that was a different one. I don't know what he did, but
it was
Heavenly
like
Kid
that.
was at 70s, or no, I mean it was based in the 50s, and he dies. He was like this. It was a great show, but he was like, I don't know, some bad boy, and he gets killed and comes back as an angel. You remember that?
Yeah, I think that was Gary Coleman.
No, I wasn't Gary Coleman though. Look it up and see. I don't know, but
I'm pretty sure it's been years. I mean, since I was a kid, since I've seen that. But I'm pretty sure it was. Let me look it up. I'm pretty sure it was the Heavenly Kid.
No, because I used to watch Heavenly Kid all the time, and it came out in '85.
What did?
The Heavenly Kid.
Oh, you looking it up?
Yeah. And I forget what the guy. I don't even know these actors' names. If they've been in anything else, it's a great show. But I don't know what Gary Coleman. I guess was it a movie? It was a movie, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we could punch in what movies he was in.
Oh, the kid with the broken halo. That's what it was.
Oh, okay, close, I guess.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, he made that movie. Yeah, but he was a big star, and of course Todd Bridges and Dana Plato, the brother and sister in the show, they both ended up getting into drugs real bad later on in life. They couldn't handle success. Todd Bridges cleaned himself up. I think Dana Plato, she died like in a laundromat somewhere.
Yeah, she died.
Yeah,
That's right.
all strung out on drugs. And then remember the first couple seasons, Mrs. Garrett. Remember Mrs. Garrett was their housekeeper. And of course, then they did the spinoff with Mrs. Garrett, which was The Facts of Life.
Oh, yeah, The Facts of Life, yep. Now, Gary Coleman died, too.
Yeah.
I forget what he died.
Yeah, they think his wife murdered him, pushed him downstairs or something. Beat
accidental
him.
fall
his
or
wife was
something?
like beating him.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but there'd been
Brain
history,
damage.
I guess, that she was abusing him.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so
That sucks.
but we'll never know.
He died in 2007 or something? Or wait.
It's been a while.
What was it? 2000. Days after. Cremated. Weeks after his death. Left multiple wills. Although, days after his 2007 marriage. That's crazy, man. I don't know.
So the new wife offed him, I think.
Wow. That's too bad.
It is.
I wonder how old. Oh, he was 42. And he died in 2010 then? Passed away because this article says 2010. Wow. Another young one.
All right, my last one for my 5 here is Alice.
That almost made my list because I watched it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I did too. Mel, kiss my grits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I went from 76 to 85. It was 9 years. And I didn't know this, but it was based on a 1974 film called Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, anybody hasn't seen it, it takes place in a diner in Phoenix, Arizona, basically out in the desert or something, and it's just 3 waitresses and the angry cook / owner. Pretty much 90% of the show takes place inside the diner. I think a couple times they're in her apartment or whatever, but it all pretty much takes place in one building, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, it was funny. It was a funny show. I enjoyed it when I was a kid. I went back and watched a few episodes a year or so ago. Yeah, I hadn't seen it so long, so it was like I was watching something new. But I didn't enjoy it as much as I did back when I was a kid. But
yeah.
Of course, there was a spinoff. Remember, they did a spinoff. It was just called Flo. Flo had her own show.
Yeah. I do vaguely remember that. Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was a good show, and I think who was their son? Doug McKean. Remember Doug McKean? He was another one of the teen heartthrobs, and his sister was Nancy McKean, which was the
Facts
chick
of Life,
from
right?
Facts of Life. Yeah. So once again, there you go. The family Hollywood business.
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
All right, so that's all for my 5 there.
Okay, all right. Well, this one you probably have on your list. Buck Rogers.
I didn't because, like I said, that was one of the shows where it 79 is when it came out, and so I think I watched it. I watched it from the beginning to the end, but I think I watched it more, obviously, in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I left it off.
It was a tough one because it ended in 81. So it's 79, 81. It was well, do I put it in the 70s or 80s? But because it was such a short-lived show, I went ahead and put it in the 70s because I do remember when it aired, and I didn't miss an episode. I had a crush on
Aaron Gray.
Aaron Gray, yeah, the white tights.
Remember then later on, later on the seasons, then she'd be wearing the blue or the orange bodysuits.
Oh yeah. Bodysuits, man. But that's something about those sci-fi shows. They always made the women look really risque, you notice that? Something was. Yeah. What was the enemy? The bad girl. Remember the bad girl with the little
Princess
bikini,
Ardala?
Yeah, bikini top.
Oh, I love Princess Ardala.
Yeah. So, that was famous in sci-fi movies and TV shows. But so that was it. Buck Rogers. Now, Gil Gerard, is he still alive?
He is still alive. Yeah,
he is.
Yep.
Wow. Now that guy was he was kind of a heartthrob. I just,
and he was married to Connie Selica, which was the chick from Greatest American Hero.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. So he's I wonder how old he is now. He's got to be.
I just seen a picture of him a week or so ago. He was at some kind of Comic-Con or something.
Oh, he's 80. He's 80 right now. Huh. Wow. Gil Gerard, man. Yeah, he was cool. So that was it, Buck Rogers. The other one, Brady Bunch, we've already talked about. The other one, Three's Company, we've already talked about. Laverne and Shirley, we already talked about. So let's see. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. 5 would be Wonder Woman. So I guess that's my 5.
Hey.
So that's quick. So next 5.
Yeah.
So your next 5.
Oh, all right. The next one is WKRP in Cincinnati.
Oh, yes. I was going to put that maybe in the 80s.
I'm living on the air in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, WKRP.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
78, 82.
Yeah.
Um,
Was it 82? That's it?
yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay. Great show.
it was
show.
a fun show. I don't remember too much about it anymore. Now I've seen a couple of episodes here and there since then, but the big thing, obviously it was Lonnie Anderson. She was a big deal back then.
Yeah.
And just about antics in a radio station. I can't even think of what was the one guy, Herb Tarlick. Remember that?
Yes.
Les Nessman, Herb Tarlick, and Dr. Venus Flytrap, and just a bunch of goofy characters. It was a fun show. I couldn't tell you one thing about it other than that.
Dr. Johnny Fever.
Dr. Johnny Fever. And there was the episode where they dropped frozen turkeys out of a helicopter. Remember that?
Yeah. I think I do. I don't know. I'm trying to. It's been so long, dude.
There's always a meme about it around Thanksgiving.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
That's probably why I'm thinking it. Gary Sandy. He's in.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good show, man. He had some funny stuff.
And the head guy, the guy that was in charge of the radio station, I can't think of his name, but the actor was Gordon Jump. And you remember going back to Different Strokes. Mm-hmm. Gordon Jump in the one serious episode of Different Strokes, Gordon Jump was the pedophile in the Different Strokes episode.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That was a big deal, that episode.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Gosh. It was like controversial.
Now it's like, hey,
Yeah.
you like kids, you like kids.
Yeah. My, how time has changed on that issue.
Everything's changed.
It's nuts.
And the show, the next show, which I watched it as a kid, and I think I learned to appreciate it more as I got older, and now I really enjoy the show. I think maybe because I have the attention span now to pay attention to the episodes and enjoy it more is Little House on the Prairie. When I was a kid, I liked it when it would be like the kid-focused episones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when it was, something about, we're gonna lose the barn. One of those episodes, you're like, no interest. But my wife loves the show, so like usually in the wintertime, we'll watch Little House on the Prairie throughout the fall and winter or whatever, and Michael Landon, just
I love Michael Landon, though.
Great actor. He just seems like a really cool guy, and of course Victor French was in Little House on the Prairie too, which was his co-star in Highway to Heaven. Yeah, and it's just a good show. Michael Landon does a good job acting. He's very, very, very good actor. Very believable, and the show definitely pulled on your heartstrings a little bit.
I did watch a lot of it because my mom watched it. I'd probably like it better now than I did then.
Yeah, you would. But it was a good show, and it was based on the book series by Laura Ingalls Wilder. And, of course, now a lot of those books are banned because it's offensive to people.
What?
So,
Little Houses?
Oh, yeah, because it's references to slavery or something, just observing there was slavery or something. So it got people all,
butthurt,
worked up in a lather. And so it was taken out of a lot of schools.
My gosh, of course. But they leave the drag queen story time hour and the how to blow your 5-year-old buddy. They leave that in the schools, but they take the Little House on the Prairie stuff out. Imagine that.
Yeah.
So Michael Landon, he died at 54 and 91. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
God,
and then Victor French died shortly after he did.
Jeez, I can't believe he died at 51. That's just, I mean, he's our age.
Yeah. Well, he died of lung
Cancer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's sad, dude.
I mean, and not and it's it's not a 70s show, but Highway to Heaven, man, was just a great show. I mean, he did such a good job.
Yeah.
On that show. I mean,
there were some tear jerkers in that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Big time.
As soon as you see Michael Landon's eyes watered a little bit,
Yeah.
your eyes start watering. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this is Steve here, and I want you to try the best superfood on the market. Field of Greens, real organic superfood. Just use my special coupon code HEALTHYLIFE for ultimate savings. The benefits of Field of Greens contain antioxidants, boosts immunity, completely organic, supports healthy metabolism, and a natural source of vitamins and minerals. Try Field of Greens today with my special coupon code HEALTHYLIFE at checkout. Healthy Life.
So my last show on my list, the final show on my list,
Yeah.
and I actually didn't watch this in the 70s. Well, I did, but I don't really remember too much of it. My parents watched it.
Yeah.
But I recently rediscovered it on Tubi. There's so many good shows on Tubi, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, why? I almost say to myself, why pay for anything else?
Yeah.
Because there's so much good stuff on Tubi, and really the commercials are minimal on there. But anyhow, rediscovered it on Tubi. It's called Family, and it was the show Christy McNichol was in.
Family. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, Christy McNichol was a big teen star, and it was just basically about it followed the life of the Lawrence family in Pasadena, California, and Christy McNichol was in there, and like I said, she was a big star, and then the father of the show was James Broderick, which ended up being Ferris Bueller's Matthew Broderick's father.
Oh, wow.
And he died super young, like 51, I think, as well.
Jeez.
Of thyroid cancer. Crazy.
Man. That's
But it's crazy about how people looked older back then.
Yeah, it is weird, isn't it?
Because in the show, I was even saying to my wife, I was looking up everybody in the cast, and he was 47 during the peak of the show.
Wow.
The father. And he looks like he's in his 60s. It's just crazy.
Yeah, that is weird.
How people looked so much older back then.
Yeah. That's strange.
But yeah, it's a really good show. It's I watch it every day after I get off work when I'm eating my dinner.
Really?
No, yeah, I like it.
I'll have to
it.
check that out. But you're talking about Tubi, but there's on top of that, Voodoo has a lot of free stuff too. Have you ever checked out some of their flicks?
It's a lot of them overlap each other.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
I was tired of having all these stinking apps on there. So I find so much now, literally, just going straight to Tubi.
Yeah. Well,
I rarely click on anything else because I'm like, I'm going to sit down and watch TV. I'm like, I click Tubi on because it seems like they just so many shows on there you don't find anywhere else. Particularly TV shows. They don't have the greatest selection of movies, but TV shows you can't find anywhere else.
Yeah. I know, man. There's so many free ways to watch TV and movies now. It's just unbelievable. It's like unless a channel has exclusives, it's it's pointless to pay for it. But,
I have Amazon Prime, but I use that so I get the shipping and stuff like that. But I rarely watch it anymore. To be honest with you, I really don't.
Well, Prime, I do find a lot of cool stuff on. You start digging around. There's some good old stuff on there.
Yeah,
a lot of old stuff that doesn't make it to Netflix. The only reason to, I guess, have Netflix is for their exclusives. But
yeah,
they don't have the good old selection by any means.
No, they used to be so much better than Netflix, but they've really narrowed down because it used to be it used to be like you would go on the app and there would just be limited stuff on there. But if you logged on to your computer, you could see like their whole library, and they had so much more available. But it's not like that anymore.
No.
Because I guess they just figured, we're just going to provide you with less, and you're going to like it.
Yeah, it's stupid. I mean,
but I only subscribe to Netflix now when the new season of Stranger Things comes out.
Yeah, I know. That's the only reason to watch is for those exclusive series like that.
Apple TV, same thing. I mean, I subscribe when my show comes on. As soon as the show's over, I cancel it.
Yeah, yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way.
Which should be coming out pretty soon. Which I can't wait. By the way,
which one?
On Apple TV, it's called Servant.
Oh, I've been wanting to watch that.
Oh, it's great, man.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and the final season is coming out sometime this month.
Well, maybe I'll rent it then and just watch all the seasons together.
Yeah, because they're only like 8 episodes a season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really, really good show, dude.
Because I had, when Apple TV came out, there was a free thing that I subscribed to. It was a free trial, whatever it was. And I'm like, what the hell is this? There's nothing on here.
I know.
There was like no movies. And it was like, some original stuff, but it was nothing. I was like, what is this? How's this going to last?
It was more, it's still to this day. I mean, there's still originals and there's still some movies on there but not many. It's like a video version of iTunes is really what it is.
Yeah.
They want to sell you stuff. But they'll give you a few shows to watch for your membership.
But yeah, so was that it?
That's it for me. So whatever you got left.
Not much, I'll tell you that. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Did I leave off the Brady Bunch? Then I had Kung Fu. Then I had I watched this one. This wasn't on your list, but I did watch a lot of Charlie's Angels from 76 to 81. Mainly because of Farrah Fawcett. But, Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
More eye candy, I guess. And, back then, every guy, I was too young, but my uncle had the Farrah Fawcett poster on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And,
that's the greatest selling poster of all time.
Yeah. So, of course, I had to watch some Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
And then the next show was... This is what I thought you were going to name, but it was on Saturday mornings, and it's very cheesy, like that stop motion claymation type. You know what I'm saying? Land of the Lost. Did you ever watch that?
I did watch it, yeah.
And I watched it every Saturday morning, even though I probably wouldn't watch it today. They did do a movie with Will Ferrell later on, Land of the Lost, which is pretty funny. But I haven't seen it in so long. I'm sure it's bad.
It's bad, but it's a good throwback. You'll enjoy it.
Is it?
I would think, yeah.
Okay. I thought about getting it one time, yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's Sid and Marty Krofft, isn't it?
Yeah. I love dinosaur stuff and everything, so I really liked that show when I was a kid. I remember that very, very well. Like looking forward to seeing that show. So I put that on the list, and then the next one is Fantasy Island. And I loved Fantasy Island. I know you.
I could never get into it.
I know you never got into it, but I loved it because it was a darker show. It came after The Love Boat at 9:00 on Saturdays, and I just love that show because every fantasy pretty much went bad. That's what I liked about it. It was like had a real cool moral tale to it. Like somebody come to the island, he wanted to be rich, a millionaire or something for a day, and then everything went bad, and he realized, I don't want to be a millionaire anymore, or whatever.
Right.
Whatever the tale was, it always got twisted, almost like a Twilight Zone episode. So that's what I loved about Fantasy Island. There was always kind of like a twist or something like that. Hey guys, do you want the ultimate iodine supplement? How about Liquid B12? How about liquid turmeric in a herbal cold-pressed tincture, never heated? The ultimate in detoxification. Pure, powerful, and potent liquid formulas in a raw herbal extract. Totally organic. Use our special coupon code HEALTHYLIFE at checkout at globalhealingorganics.com. Use coupon code HEALTHYLIFE. That's, I think that's my last one. Was that all yours?
That's all mine.
Yeah, okay. And there was a couple honorable, we should name this, a couple honorable mentions, which I don't know if you want to name some honorable mentions, but one of them is All in the Family. Didn't quite make my list because I didn't quite like it back then. And it was mainly because
it was old people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
that's why I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, I just didn't like it back then. And I couldn't stand what's her
Edith?
Archie! Yeah.
Archie!
Couldn't stand
annoying.
it. Couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
The humor is quite funny if you watch it now, but
it is, and it's hilarious.
And that dang what's his face is still annoying in real life.
Yeah, Turd Hammer.
Yeah, what's his name?
Meathead. That's all I can think of.
He's definitely a meathead. And there was another show I used to watch. It was short-lived. I don't know if you remember this, but I had the little toy. I had the little truck, but it was a SWAT truck, and the show was called SWAT. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
I remember that. My parents watched it. I didn't watch it. I remember the theme song.
Yeah, so I mean, I liked that show when it was on growing up, and my parents or somebody got me that SWAT truck, and I used to love it. But there was one other one, I guess I should say, but I didn't find it till later, and it was the Night Gallery with Rod Serling.
Yeah,
I watched that later on though. But,
yeah. One show, actually, there's two shows that I enjoyed, but that didn't make the list. Of course, that gallery, that was one of them, but it was a little bit too spooky for me at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But a show in the same vein, kind of, which I really enjoyed in the 70s, was In Search Of, narrated by Leonard Nimoy. Remember that? Always talking about the paranormal.
Yeah.
It always be about Bigfoot and the pyramids and just crazy stuff like that. And it would be on a weird time on the weekends. I don't remember exactly when, but that was a good show. And then this wasn't really a series, but do you remember when they used to have Battle of the Network Stars on TV?
I was going to bring that up when you were talking about Eric Estrada.
The Battle of the Network Stars.
Yes.
I used to love that. That was the people from all three networks to compete in sporting events.
That was like a big event.
Yeah, it was a big deal. I loved it too. I loved it. I was, my favorite stars of my shows. I'd be rooting them on. I'd be all excited. Yeah,
that was a great idea. Great thing to bring those networks together. I don't know why they quit making those.
Yeah, they that went on for like 13 years. I read.
13 years, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that did have. I know some of them are. I remember.
I know some of them are available on YouTube.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, because I watched a couple of them on there a while back.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll have to check that out. That was a great event. I looked forward to those.
Yeah, I did too. It was it was always exciting to see what people were going to do, like in real life, like whether they were athletically inclined or they were just a bunch of goofballs. Because I was reading they got like 50 or 80,000 if they won or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, but it went from 76 to 88. There was 19 episodes of it. Over the course of 12 years.
12 years. Okay.
Yeah, but it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. So many great memories. I love going back and watching some of these shows from that time period.
Yeah, and like you were saying earlier, is that the 70s shows were around the time when I was, young. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those were like the best years of your childhood. You know, like 10 and younger. You know, all the good kiddie things. You know, the Christmases and going to your grandma's house and for the weekend and this. You know what I mean? It would. Those memories, they're like the best memories of my childhood. Is like the 10 and below years, and so that's what the 70s were. All those shows. There were so many Christmas specials and everything else in the 70s. TV was amazing in the 70s.
Yeah, it was.
And what was cool about, we've talked about it before, but there was only 3 channels. So, like, I mean, you know, so what you got, I mean, you were so happy with, you know what I mean? And you were. I mean, and it just, that's why I think we have such fond memories of it, is because, I mean, there was nothing better than what we had, you know what I mean? So to us, it was awesome.
Yeah, there's no recording. You had to be there at that time.
Yeah, there was no guarantee there was ever going to be a rerun.
You had to be there. There was no rerun. Well, there might have been a rerun, but you didn't know when it was happening, and there was no VCRs attainable at the price point probably for us at that time. I don't think we got a VCR till, you know, the 80s, obviously, but
yeah,
I mean, they were way too expensive. I think they did come out in the 70s, but
they did, but they were like, you know, 1,000 or more, you know, dollars.
So you had to be there, and that was cool because, you know, it an event on TV was like going to the theater. It was just it was a big family get together.
And on top of that, your parents would use that as bribery for you to behave.
Yeah.
If you want to watch a $6 Million Man on Sunday, you better do this, and that. And boy, you were.
yeah.
Because if they said no, you got to go to your room, you can't watch it, you might never ever see it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Because they would rerun those shows in the summer, but sometimes in the summer they preempted for a special movie presentation or be like some kind of a special. So there was no guarantee that they were going to replay the whole season of your favorite show through the course of the summer, because the summer was only like 12 weeks and usually a season was 22 to 26 episodes. So you never knew if you were going to be able to watch that as a rerun. So if you missed it, you know, the day it was on, you were out of luck.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
And, you know, we had no idea that, you know, 30, 40 years down the road that all these shows would somehow be available for us to watch. And, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But these you know, these stations, ABC, CB, you know, whatever, they had no idea that, you know, that these shows would be archived later and people would have interest in them. They never planned for it. You know what I mean? They never planned for them to ever be seen again.
I know. It's crazy. I'm so glad that, you know, you have little, you know, labels and stuff, like Shout Factory and stuff, putting these shows out and again and cleaning them up and whatever. I'm still waiting for some more stuff to come out, but you know, the way they did $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman and man, they just look so good. You know, another show I watched in the 70s was kind of a big thing. It didn't last long. I think it only went one season, but it kind of freaked me out as a kid. Was the Planet of the Apes? Did you ever watch that when you were a kid?
I saw a little bit of it.
I mean, they look pretty scary back then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was going through stuff and I was like, oh, I remember the Planet of the Apes, man. It was like kind of freaky. So anyway, one shout out today. I want to give a shout out to Ron Ehlers, who listened to I guess our last episode. I heard and liked it. So Ron, haven't seen you in a long time. Thanks so much, man, for checking us out. And if you ever want to come on, send me a message or something. Ron,
it's going to cost you a dozen eggs if you want on the show.
Oh, yeah. Guys, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Please subscribe to us on any of the platforms. whether it be Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music,
Pornhub.
Yeah, Red Circle, Stitcher, on mostly all the platforms. YouTube under Craze TV with a K. I started on Rumble, but I haven't got all the episodes up yet on there. So we're trying to branch out a little bit, put them on wherever.
Yeah, we need to get it on Rumble. I own some stock on Rumble, so we need to get that going, yeah, Steve.
I've got a few episodes up. I haven't got them all up yet, but yeah. So we're moving to Rumble. We're gonna have them both on, coinciding.
All right.
What, you got a Rumble channel?
No.
Oh. You got stock and you don't even got a Rumble channel?
No. So it's something to get into, though. Ground up. Get into the ground floor where the stock's still cheap. Because it's going to take off.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to get on Rumble then. Subscribe.
What am I going to do on Rumble?
We'll get an account on there and subscribe to Retro Media Talk on
Well,
Rumble.
I'll do that. Right now, though, there's nothing for me to do.
Yeah. What else you want to say, Steve?
Not a damn thing. I'm ready to get upstairs and eat some dinner. That's what I'm thinking
I know.
about
You're
right
probably
now.
starving, man. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye-bye.